Hi, I'm Pink142, aka Taylor, and today I'm going to be talking about like superhero video games. Not necessarily like what the best ones are, but but mostly like superheroes that should have their own video games. And like one of them that I'm going to talk about is already has their own video game, but I think if they made it better, it could work because the game you guys probably already know. If you guys know who I am, and you guys know me, you guys know who my favorite superhero is, and you guys know that his video game was so crappy that that it was unplayable. But I feel like if you fix it, it could work. And I apologize for no gameplay, but I thought this was more appropriate, seeing as though we're getting like a lot of new superhero movies this year. Like I know Aquaman is coming out this year, and last year Justice League came out, and Wonder Woman came out, and like the Avengers movie came out, Thor came out, who's my niece's favorite, my oldest niece's favorite. That's she loves Thor. I'm not a fan of Thor. I'm not a fan of Marvel. I used to like the Hulk, but then I discovered Superman, and so the Hulk kind of went on the back burner, and I just can't get into Marvel. I don't know what it is. But without further ado, I'd like to begin. Starting with my third favorite superhero, Wonder Woman. I love Wonder Woman, and I wish I could. Hold on. Uh, I have this shirt that I got for Christmas. Uh, it's awesome. I love it. It's a little like long on me, but yeah. Wonder Woman, as you can tell. I love Wonder Woman, and she's just awesome, and she's a warrior princess, and she fights every day for Taya Mascara, the Amazon. Fights every day for her people, and I think she could have an excellent video game. It just has to be done right. Uh, I don't know how they would do it. I think like my when I came up with this idea, I thought, okay, why don't we just do like Taya Mascara? Like she kind of like I kind of want it to be like follow kind of like the movie a little bit where she starts you start out in Taya Mascara, and then you just travel through there, and then you leave Taya Mascara to go to the new world or whatnot, and you fight off all these enemies, and it's almost like an action adventure RPG. So I would love to see that. I would love to see that kind of game. It could work, and it would just be awesome. I can't explain it, but it would just be pure awesome, and I would play that game all the time. Like I would, and like the combat system would be kind of hard. Like it'd be a little bit hard to get used to, but then once you got used to it, you'd love it. So I would definitely love to see a game with Wonder Woman. She would kick some butt. My second one, because I'm saving the one that I want to talk about for last, but my second one uh, is a superhero that not a lot of people know about unless you're a fan of the series, unless you're a fan of the actual superhero that this superhero comes from. You don't know about it, and actually, one moment. I actually have two comic books from the superhero. I'm not a huge fan of the superhero. I do like some of the, because the main reason why I don't like one of the reasons why I don't like it is because I thought when I read it, I thought it was going to be this one person. Turns out it was someone else that I didn't like. I'm like, I can't believe I spent money on it, but I still have it though. And I do think that this person is a badass, and pardon my French, but they are, and that is Superwoman. Yeah, Superwoman is one that I would love to see made into a video game because not a lot of people know about her. And like I remember quick story about her. I went to where did I go? I was going out to eat with my parents, and I told my mom, like me and my mom were talking while when I was getting into the car. We were talking, and she mentioned something about me being like Supergirl or something like that, and I said no, I'm Superwoman, and she's like, no, there's no such thing as Superwoman. I'm like, yeah, there is. I have 2 comics, and she's like, no, there isn't. No, you don't. I'm like, yeah, I do. There is Superwoman. Superwoman, she is, she's awesome, but I just didn't care for the comics because I thought it was going to be Lois Lane, which I do have 2 Lois Lane comics. Uh, right here, I got these yesterday, these 2 yesterday, but 2 Lois Lane comics, and she's awesome. I love Lois Lane. She's one of my favorites, but I thought it would be Lois Lane would be Superwoman because that's the way my dad said it was Superwoman was Lois Lane, and I'm like, and I read him and I was like, she's not Lois Lane. Superwoman is Lana Lang, but I would love to see one like because I know that she can fly and she's basically got the powers of Superman. So I would love to see what they did with her in a video game. Excuse me, apologize. Like you could almost like Wonder Woman, where it's like an action adventure RPG, where like where where you kind of like fight off these enemies and everything, and like but I would also kind of like to see it as like kind of like GTA, where it's like this open world, like it's got like an open world aspect. I think it could work. I feel like that'd be something like WB would like team up with like Rockstar to do. I think that'd be awesome, and it could work. And I don't know exactly how it would work, but I think it could work. Just need to find the right developers to do it and the right creators to do it, but it could work. The next one is also in the same universe, which is Supergirl. Supergirl is uh she is Kara El. She's Kara El. She is a cousin of Kal-El, which Kal-El is Superman. She's his cousin, and she has the same powers as Superman, and but she's a girl. She's a girl, and she's awesome. And I think it could work. Like she could do like fight crime, almost like GTA 5, like GTA or Red Dead Redemption, like I mentioned, like those open world games. It could be like an open world game, and I feel like it could work. You just gotta find the right developers, the right team to get behind it. I mean, we have the TV show that's out now with Melissa Benoist playing Supergirl. We have that TV show, and it's doing amazing on the CW. Not a sponsor, by the way, but I I feel like you could capitalize on that show and make a video game out of it. But it has to be good. It has to be good, and that's the problem with like a lot of video game. Like that's the problem with a lot of video games. A lot of them are really it's that's the problem with a lot of video games. They're not like that's the problem with a lot of superhero video games. They're either hits or misses. Like you either have like ones that are like really good, like the Arkham City, like the Arkham games, or like the Spider-Man 2. Like you have like those are like Maximum Carnage. Like you have those video games that are like really good, but then you have like the misses like Aquaman and like Superman and tons of other ones I can't think of at the top of my head, but you have to make it good, and you can't rush it. That's what they did with Superman 64. That's what they did with that game. They rushed it so quickly that it didn't work. It was so crappy. It was so bad. And so it was so glitchy. You have to take your time with it. That's what I like about WB, what they did with the Arkham games. They made them, they took their time with them. They didn't rush them or anything. They took their time making them because they didn't want another Aquaman or Superman 64 like incident, and that's what I love about it. So get on that. Make a Supergirl game. That'd be awesome. Next one is Superboy. Now, Superboy, my dad has been convinced that Superboy is young Clark Kent. That is not the case. Supergirl is, Superboy is, I believe, Kal-El, if I'm not mistaken, and he's basically Lex Luthor and Clark Kent's son. Basically, Lex Luthor and Kal-El's son. Yeah. He's basically those two people, like, Lex Luthor created him, pretty much, out of his DNA and out of Superman's DNA. And I feel like it could work the same way with Supergirl. I feel like that could work. You just have to find a way to do it. And it would be kind of like an action-adventure RPG. I imagine it would be... If I had to think like a game that it could be like, and this goes back to Wonder Woman as well, because it could work with Wonder Woman as well. It could be like the Legend of Zelda series, where it's like, it's this, you have like this open world aspect, but it's also like this action adventure type game. And I feel like it could work. It could work. I would love to see a Superboy game. Make it WB. Make it WB or whoever wants to make it. Make it. It'd be super fun. Just imagine like flying around as Superboy and getting into so much trouble, and like saving the planet. My last and final one. I know, like, I'm choosing all DC, but like I said at the beginning, I hate Marvel. I am one person on the planet that hates Marvel. I will argue till I'm blue in the face as to why I hate Marvel and why, and just, it's terrible. I believe I did talk about why I hate Marvel in my Marvel versus DC video, but I just absolutely hate Marvel. I hate them as a company. They steal, like, I know DC has done the exact same thing. Basically, Aquaman is pretty much Namor. Namor is the DC, is the Marvel's character, but it's a little, like, lesser known, and Aquaman's more well known, but Namor came out before Aquaman did. And so, but a lot of, you look at Deadpool is basically Deathstroke. He's just a comedic Deathstroke. That's all he is, because Deathstroke came out before Deadpool did. Iron Man is basically an iron suited man who can float in the air version of Batman. Because Batman is a billionaire playboy, I can't say that word. Billionaire playboy philanthropist. Yeah, that's all he is, and that's what Iron Man is. Iron Man is the exact same way. And so Iron Man comes from Batman. And like, you look at like Quicksilver is basically Flash. I mean, Marvel takes a lot of their ideas from DC, and it's like they changed their name around. Because, like, for instance, like I said, Deadpool and Deathstroke. Deadpool, his name is Wade Wilson. Deathstroke is Slade Wilson. So that's why I don't like Marvel, because they steal a lot of their ideas from DC, and it's like no, no. And DC had to change Captain Marvel's name to Shazam because Marvel already had a Captain Marvel. They already had a Captain Marvel, and they didn't want to confuse people, so they're like, "Well, let's change it to Shazam." And it's like, no, Marvel, no, DC, you came out with Captain Marvel before Marvel did. Marvel should have to change their name. But no, it didn't happen. But I actually have two more. I'm changing. My last one is changed. This one is actually going to be Deadpool. They make a Deathstroke. I don't know much about Deathstroke because I never got into that comic, but I imagine it's like Deadpool except less comedic and more serious. And like I think it could work. Combat system would, and it'd just be amazing. Like make a Deathstroke game. They're coming out with the Deathstroke movie. Why don't you come out with this work? And then finally, my last and final one that I'm really looking forward to, and I actually want to show you really quick if I can find it. Superman. I decided to pull out this one because I just got it yesterday, and this one by far is my favorite one that I have. Out of all the comic books that I have over 20 plus comics, like close to 30 comics altogether. And yeah, I think around 20, up to between 20 and 30 comics altogether. And that's that's been in less than 6 months. I've gotten that many comics in less than 6 months. And I love this comic because, as you can see right there, that's Mr. Mxyzptlk, and he's my favorite villain of all time. And he's but I would not want to. I would love for him to be in the game, which is Superman. I would love for him to be in the Superman game. They need to reboot it. They need to redo it and make it a lot better and have Mr. Mxyzptlk in there. And I feel like it would have a hard time being on the Switch, but I feel like if the Switch came out with like microphone compatibility, it could work. And basically, what you do is it's kind of like you lead the game. You're the one that's leading the game. You're the one that's playing as Superman, and as soon as like Mr. Mxyzptlk comes in, he causes all this havoc. And you have to correct all of his havoc that he's done, and then turn around and try to defeat him. And how you defeat him is by tricking him into spelling his name backwards, or getting him to say his name backwards. So I would so totally do it, and I'd be like, I would do like a knock joke, like in like the Superman's animated show, because he's like Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's like, and Mr. Mxyzptlk was like, Superman and Batman. And then he's like, Batman is like, I thought Batmite was annoying or something like that. And Superman's like, he's not that annoying. I just gotta trick him into saying his name backwards. And so he gets him to say his name backwards by doing a knock joke. He's like, knock. And he's like, ooh, I love jokes. Who's there? And Superman's like, Kill Tip sees him. And then Mr. Mxyzptlk is like, Kill Tip sees him who? And he's like, oh nuts, like, oh you got me or something like that. And then he goes back to his dimension that he's supposed to be in. And I feel like it could work. You could do that. But what I would really love to see out of this game is, if you saw my Superman video, my Superman live stream video, you'll know that Superman 3 was originally going to have Mr. Mxyzptlk in there, along with where is it? Just got it yesterday. Along with Brainiac. Yeah, I got this one yesterday as well. It's awesome. Brainiac is awesome. Along with Brainiac. Superman was, yeah, they were supposed to be, Brainiac was supposed to be in there as well. And, like, I believe Doomsday was supposed to be in there as well, if I'm not mistaken. Doomsday or Darkseid was supposed to be in there, but it didn't happen. But what was supposed to happen was Superman was going to face Brainiac, and then he's facing Brainiac, and then all of a sudden Mr. Mxyzptlk shows up, and Supergirl shows up as well, and he has like a romantic relationship with him. And I'm like, no, don't do that. It would have been a great movie without that. And I would love for them to do this, make this into a video game, just have like Mr. Mxyzptlk in there, and then have Brainiac in there, and it would be awesome. Just have the two of them in there facing off, like having them in there, and like you have to get rid of both of them with the help of Supergirl. That would be, oh my goodness, just thinking about that game would be awesome. And it could work. It could work. You just don't rush it like you did the one on the N64. Don't rush it. Just make it into a game. Man, I would play the heck out of that game. If I had a Switch and they put it on the Switch, because I don't own an Xbox, I don't support Xbox, but if it was on the Switch and it was compatible with the microphone, and you could eliminate Mr. Mxyzptlk by getting him to say his name backwards or spelling it backwards, it would be awesome. Just make the game. Just make it. Yeah, just make it. I would love for that game to exist. I love Mr. Mxyzptlk. I mean, I love it. Yeah. So that's what I have. So post in the comments below what movie, what video, what superheroes do you think should get a movie? I mean, not a movie, get a video game in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because on Monday I'm going to be continuing with my 5-part series. And a little update I forgot to mention on Monday that after I get done with my 5-part series, I'm doing like my Never Have I Ever video stream with the Bean Boozled. I wasn't able to get Bean Boozled because I completely forgot. I was where I got these comics from, where I got them. I got them there. Well, I was too busy worrying about getting this other thing and worrying about this other thing that I just completely forgot. But I will try and get them as soon as possible. And when I do get them, I will do the Never Have I Ever thing with Bean Boozled. I know I promised that I would do it, and I'm not chickening out. I haven't gotten around to getting them. When you don't have a car, then you can't necessarily get around to do it. And also, I've been trying to look for a job as well. So, yeah. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Bye!